Nee, zat er nooit bij.
You're
Nee?
welcome.
Bij de hoofdstad niet?
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
will ask
So
you.
you're
Nee,
just
maar
gonna
wat
be
anders,
But is
with,
somebody giving us a
Die
sign?
was er
or-
ook voor de eerst.
Ja, ik had hem net nog aan de telefoon en die ging heel erg goed in de discussie met de wethouder. Want het is wel heel onrustig.
Zeker.
Good morning,
Ik dacht,
everybody.
oh,
Very welcome to this beautiful independent hotel show. Thank you for joining us, and thank you also for joining my guest. Shortly, I will introduce you all. Before we start, I really like to know a little bit more about you. Who are you, and what kind of jobs you have? So, can somebody assist me that three of you stand up and tell me who you are? So then we know a little bit more about you. I already know there are some designers in this audience. Some independent hotel entrepreneurs are in the audience. Is there another field that I didn't mention yet? Will somebody, yeah, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Neha. I work for the company Revinate, and we help hoteliers actually to personalize their guest experience.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much for sharing. Somebody else? Thank you for being so open about who you are.
Yes, hello. I'm co-founder of Music iView, and we provide music for hotels, but the idea is really to design music accordingly with the guests' experience, the location, the time of the year. So music is really part of the personalization of the experience.
Thank you so much. So this morning...
Sorry,
this
and the company's name is Music iView.
Oh yeah, very good pitch. Thank you. Very good pitch. This morning, this beautiful fair started already with sharing trends. And I was in the audience as well. And I've learned that personalization is a big trend for upcoming years. And I really think in the current economy and the current society, we all notice why. And these are three icons in the industry who really understand how you can be as much as personal with your clients. So I like to introduce these icons. Next to me is Julia Riedmeier. You are the founder of an advisory studio specialized in luxury. Julia lives a little bit in Monaco, a little bit in Munich. And you know everything about the jewelry industry, the yacht industry, the interior industry. You're also involved with key opinion leaders in the luxury industry worldwide.
Correct.
And you're already giving lectures, you're involved in academic researches, so you're really the one to teach us and inspire us about personalization. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here.
Thank you. And Robert-Jan, we are a bit of neighbors, actually. Robert-Jan Woltering. If you're talking about an hotel entrepreneur, then Robert-Jan is your man. He lives around the world, was working for hotel industry in Mexico, in Singapore, is that right?
Amongst others, yes. 5 continents, 14 countries.
Yeah, so many. And then a couple of years ago, you came back, and you were really proud to be back in your city. And your city is the city of Amsterdam. And you're so proud that you're leading the Pearl of the city.
Ooh.
And the Pearl of the city is, of course, Hotel de l'Europe. And de l'Europe transformed in a destination hotel, in really a hotel that is, how can I say, as personal you can be as a hotel. So we like to learn more from you about the X factor of Hotel de l'Europe and about yourself, because
Absolutely.
I think that leadership is part of your success.
De
So very
l'Europe
welcome.
facilitates it
Thank
in
you
a
so
very
much.
nice way.
Thank you. And then Benno Leeser. I think if you're running a family company and this is what you're doing, already the 3rd generation, then you are about personality. I think it's a beautiful prestige if your family can involve and nobody says, okay, goodbye, I'd like to do something else. They're really on board. And you told me before we started that the 5th generation is making herself ready for being in a company as well. And I'm so happy that I can say it's her, because I love to celebrate female leadership in the luxury industry. And I see a lot of female entrepreneurs in the audience. So I'm happy to see this is a beautiful result.
Very nice to be here.
Thank you so much. Before we start sharing insights and the most authentic lessons, I think it's nice to share some fun facts and insights about these persons themselves. I like to dream a little bit. Julia, imagine you're flying from Munich to Monaco and you're sitting next to Robert-Jan in the airplane. Where do you like to talk about with Robert-Jan?
Well, I would first spot his pin, and by that I would assume that there is a connection to one of your passions. So maybe we start a little bit of chit-chat and then we come to the hospitality industry. I might have shared that clients have changed in the luxury industry. It does not need to be high heels, rather sneakers. And I would like to ask you, how have your clients changed over the past years? Did you detect any change of client profiles, of style, of something that is quite remarkable for your business?
The first thing I would actually mention to you is that we have a common link, which is Monaco, because the consulate of Monaco is based at de l'Europe, and I think in a few weeks I will be honorary consul of Monaco, so we could chat for ages about luxury in Monaco. But what really, I mean, of course the clientele has changed. For me personally, because I've transformed many hotels, and so in the various hotels there were different sort of client segments. But in de l'Europe, it has basically shifted to a almost full focus on the North American customers and clients, and through luxury consortia. So these are people that have a very high level of expectation. And so that unique experience is what today defines de l'Europe. So our baseline, home of original Amsterdam luxury, is something that we at de l'Europe not only embrace and cherish, but I believe, sorry, I hope there's no competitors here in the room, we are the only hotel in Amsterdam that can really answer to that expectation. One of those answers is through product innovation. And you know, hotels are great and it's all about service, and let's all agree, I mean, service is still the most important defining factor. But it's also that unique experience. And for that we have created sort of an extension of the hotel called Het Huis, the house. And within that home, we have 14 branded suites. And the last one we are co-creating today actually is with the Van Gogh Museum. We are creating the world's first Vincent van Gogh suite. So that is going to be totally unique, and it will open in April, just in time for King's Day. And it will be launched in the international press by some very prestigious magazines that will come and visit us. But that experience, because not only about Van Gogh, it's how do you define that in an experience or a couple of unique experiences throughout your stay. Hey,
That's our.
let's dance and party.
Commercial about Hotel de l'Europe.
And so we personalize our music as well, although I'm not sure that this was Van Gogh's time, but that is what creates the difference. So I take pride in that, and with my team, we have a beautiful team, and all together we are constantly working on that way of setting us aside from the competition.
But do you see, Robert-Jan, then, because you were asking about the shifting clients, do you see because of this transformation in your product a new type of client?
Let's say that it becomes a little bit easier to attract new clients. As we all know, the United States is going through a tough time with elections. Luxury travel from the US is declining after October 7th, that horrible invasion the incidents in Gaza. And that has basically slowed down the US travelers to Europe, transcontinental, because overall they're still the same. So we need to look for new and additional clientele. And so when I go and visit fairs, for example, International Luxury Travel Market in Sao Paulo, that's a whole new market that's opening up. And these products are really perfect to enter into that market because nobody else has them. So that's quite unique. And so we are now really focusing on those South American markets that are represent a huge growth potential.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I would love to go to the next chit-chat question. Benno,
Chit-chat.
you're visiting a lot of fairs as well. I presume that you go to Watches and Wonders.
For sure.
Is there, besides the luxury industry in watches and jewelry, another industry that inspires you to be as personal as possible in your industry?
Yeah, in our industry it was very important. Before COVID, we had 400,000 visitors in our diamond factory.
Yeah.
It was also called Diamond Factory. Then we were going back to 20,000. Then you can do two things. You can sit in a corner crying, looking to your figures that it will be a disaster, or you can be active.
Yeah.
And we have we changed completely the factory to House of GASSAN because we have also a wonderful team and we made all kinds of new things. We started a collection, it's called pre-owned.
Yeah.
Before you call it second-hand, but pre-owned sounds much nicer.
Yeah.
And we make a separate room for this. We make a separate room for a collection who's called Trophy by GASSAN. And this collection is based on the fact that in the United States, when you are in the NBA, when you are winning the champion, no one asks you how many times you were champion, but they ask you how many rings you have. And
Oh, yeah.
we make this very popular to all the soccer teams in Europe. So we have delivered already to Red Bull Leipzig when they were winning first time German Cup. We delivered to Atalanta Bergamo when they were in the Champions League. And I was very proud to make them last year also for Feyenoord, because I'm a typical Amsterdam boy, but I'm completely Feyenoord fan. And we are preparing already some new rings for the coming season. But we made a completely change from the factory, 400,000. We will never go above 200,000 anymore. And the whole approach is completely different. And the nice thing is, when I'm visiting, by example, in Indonesia, travel agents who are coming with their clients, we show the difference from factory to House of GASSAN. We showed the fourth generation Choices by DL. It's our daughter who has her own jewelry collection. And like you say before, I'm very proud to announce also that we have already the 5th generation on board of our company. And this collection is calling GG by GASSAN. And as we speak, we have 3 events in Singapore to present all these kind of things. And when the travel agents tell you your competition can never beat you anymore, it's not that we ask for this kind of things, but it proves that changing to more personalization is very important.
Yeah, it's super important. I already hear a few trends in your answer. So choosing the right product is very important. Choosing the right language as well, to call it a house. You also are using the word thuis. It means house in English.
I'm actually thinking of a common link. I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have the House of GASSAN in het huis at de L'Europe?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I see a link here.
We are doing business
we
already.
we need to discuss a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, because I think it's nice. Harper's Bazaar, I'm editor-in-chief, by the way, of Harper's Bazaar, Netherlands, the most beautiful media brand of the world. And we also have a room in Hotel de l'Europe.
You do.
And one of the most beautiful interior designers worldwide, Kelly Wurstler, was one of our first guests. So some people I've heard from the wandelgangen, some people already call it the Kelly Wurstler room. Eh?
Yeah. And she was
because-
totally excited.
Yeah, she was so excited.
about her stay. Yes.
Yeah. Julia,
Yes.
may I ask you a very personal question? Because you are so experienced in all those luxury fields. What is your most beautiful experience in having a personalization approach? Do you have a best practice?
So I think today's topic, and thank you, Miluska, for that, because today's topic is so powerful. We talk about personalization, and I would like to invite each one of you to answer that question, to reflect a little bit. What was actually the moment when you were wowed? And why was it like this? Was it something expensive? Was it something, well orchestrated or very well planned from the beginning on? Was it something that just happened? And I would say those moments of personalization sometimes require a lot of thought, but they might not be very costly in the end. So those little details that are personalized, the little thought that is put into that, that's always a sensational wow moment.
Yeah.
So that moment of surprise is what I would experience, and it depends across industries. So if we look into the automotive industry, for example. So what could be the moment of surprise when you think about the journey of buying a car?
Yeah.
Well, you're getting most excited most probably when you pick up the car, right? So once you pick up the car, this moment of the delivery moment, that's going to be hopefully a very personalized moment. We had music before, so also what role is music playing? Can you choose it? Does the brand know you so well that they select the right music for you, that they select the right drinks for you, that they have very nice orchestration moment. I won't tell the brand, but there is a fantastic German automotive brand where the key is floating up and it's magnetic. And it's something like very wow and orchestrated and personalized in a way how this whole delivery moment is conceptualized. When we talk about the yachting industry, personalization starts by, and much as in the jewelry field, starting with a blank piece of paper and drawing, getting very personal and getting to know the person behind. And I think what I found so beautiful when we were chatting previously, you mentioned the more luxurious it is, the more personal it gets.
Yeah, I think this is really the case. If you are working in the luxury industry, I think you really have to make it so personal because the luxury client has it already all. They already have it at home when they travel. So you really have to be very, very personal.
Yes.
But I think it also has to be very authentic because if it becomes a trick, for example, I get a lot of invitations for the shows, for doing visits, for traveling. And when an envelope is really well chosen and it's really handwritten, and I feel that the person who is creating this handwriting really loves to do it, then it's touching my heart.
Yeah.
But if it's quickly done because, personal is a trend, I feel it as a receiver.
Exactly, and it's standardized, and you're like, wait a second. Well, yes, they put a lot of effort in writing it and choosing the right paper, but if the soul is missing, and I think we are getting so conscious about our decisions and about our environment, because we also sometimes spammed in a way about everything needs to be personalized, but what is the real meaning behind personalization in the end? And I think as well, there's a saying, KYC. Some of you might have heard about it.
Not
KYC is know your client. It comes from a different area, but I think you can beautifully adapt it to the luxury industry because it also means you enter a hotel. They should have all of the details based on your booking, right? And the reservation. That means by the moment you're entering, you should be recognized not only as a given with a smile and a nice warm attitude, not stressed, relaxed, but on top, imagine if you're greeted by your name, even though you're coming for the first time. And I think this is just beautiful because the time that is spent before, knowing your client beforehand, what they like, maybe there is a placing of a nice flowers of your choice, maybe you know allergies. And knowing your client can be so easy when it comes to digitalization as well, because what you can learn from Google is also a way to be prepared to personalize everything. And it might be just about the details, that in the end, the thought that is put in there might not be a huge investment, but an authentic way to become more personal and more, less standardized.
Yeah, so that really resonates.
Yeah.
But how can you attract the right people? Because I know that you all, it's a challenge to have the right people, right, in your company. Robert-Jan, how are you doing this in Hotel de l'Europe? Because when you have to be authentic, and we all agree that authenticity is so important in offering personalization.
Yeah.
What is leadership about when to attract and manage the right people?
It's twofold, but it is about leadership, but it's also about the team. And so I do, for example, go to the United States to attract those future customers through travel advisors with my sales team. And so they sort of like to see the managing director. Great, okay, that's fine. But it's the sales team that really does the job and makes that difference. And there again, because you're very right, it's about that personalization. And I wanted to add to that because, for example, at the l'Europe, I remember we have one customer that really likes filet américain. Every morning this guy comes, my restaurant manager goes to the butcher to make sure that he has filet américain in the fridge for him the next morning. And that's the kind of personalization that makes the experience different. I went to Hermes to buy this tie, actually, not very long ago, with my wife and a dog. And what blew me away there was when we left, they gave us a little bag for the dog, cookies. But when, and it was done in a Hermes bag under the Christmas tree, beautiful. I spoke 20 times already about this story, that's how strong it is. But when I looked at the back of the cookies, it said especially made by Le Boulangerie de Paris.
Oh, wow.
And that's sort of,
Yeah.
you know, it's that original Amsterdam luxury that we try to produce,
Yeah.
that Hermes does with their brand. And the authenticity of that experience, yeah, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I even talk about it here on stage. So that's where the difference lies. And I believe you need to constantly be looking out and searching for innovation, really. This is the innovation stage. Constantly looking for, can we do it in a different way, in a better way, in a more cost-efficient way, but also in a more, you know, direct way from me to you, or from me
But
to
how
you.
do you manage? Because when I enter Hotel de l'Europe, they give me that smile and they know my name and they ask, can I do something for you?
Yeah.
And our American director only wants to stay with you in your hotel
Yeah.
because he appreciates it so much. But how do you manage your team so that they really understand it's a craft?
It's a bit of a trick question. How many people in the room here are from Amsterdam? Right. So you all know the Amsterdam sort of
Arrogantie.
renommee, right?
Oh,
so
arrogantie. Ik vind het een beetje arrogant soms.
this Amsterdam arrogance
Yeah.
that people have. And I worked twice in my career in Amsterdam, and both times we had the same. That requires also directness.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to be sort of accommodating to your people and welcome, and of course it is very important to explain the sense of your actions. Why do I want you to do this, that, or the other? Why do I want the doorman to say, "Good morning and welcome to l'Europe," and you know, what can I do for you? But in Amsterdam, you first need to cross that first bridge, saying, "Okay, cut the crap. Now you need to do it."
Yeah.
In a good Amsterdam slang, that really helps. So
Yeah.
you know, when you come from Amsterdam, you work in Amsterdam.
You understand.
It helps, Benno.
Absolutely.
Ik denk het wel.
No, but
Yeah.
it's very important, and giving the attention is the most important.
Yeah.
Work
Yeah.
with the team. And I spoke already about soccer. I'm a really soccer fanatic,
Yeah.
and I was not a very good player. But it was almost, if I not play, then you know that I'm not there. And this is what I believe also in the team working with the whole GASSAN group.
Yeah.
And it's very important that also the toilet is clean.
Yeah.
Because someone who is busy with making a decision to buy something very nice and he's not 100% sure, and if he goes to the toilet and the toilet is not clean, so it's really all together. And that's unbelievable important.
Yeah, so it's really a people's business to
Absolutely.
offer this personalization. And when were you blowing away in your personalization experience, maybe as a consumer?
No, I have seen that it's more and more important. And before we were in the mass tourism, and today we are in the high end.
Yeah.
And then we have to work it. We completely renovate the floors, the windows, everything is new, but it's really from now. And that's very important. And to be honest, because we were in 2013 the best family-owned company in the Netherlands, and it's for 3 facets to talk diamond language. First of all, quality. We can't be always the cheapest, but we can guarantee the quality. Second is service, and third is 100% family-owned. And 100% family-owned is that we have a long-term vision, and it's also important. People like when we are coming to their parties.
Yeah.
And we are quite often in the press, so they like it to be there. But that's also how we want to be.
Yeah, I think so too. And
Yeah.
I think it's also relates to the other trend that Mieke and Vincent were talking about in the previous talk, that building a community around your brand is so important right now, and being very local as well, what you are doing. Because het huis what you are building right now is really involving the community of Amsterdam within all those rooms. So you have a jewelry maker, you have a gallery in your a fashion designer, couturier, so it's
Yeah.
all there, a pure perfume maker, and are all Amsterdam-based people. So you're building this community. And how can you make sure that the luxury traveler can be a big artist like the Rolling Stones? I know they're staying with you. And how can it also be the hip hopper who's arriving in sneakers? How can you manage that they both feel at home and being as personal as possible?
When the vision is the home of original Amsterdam luxury, you first of all that phrase there's a lot of words in there, and so to come home is important. So everybody that comes to the L'Europe is welcome.
Yeah.
I really don't care if they wear sneakers or, you know, 3,000 euros, whatever shoes.
Jewelry.
Shoes, I was thinking
Yeah,
about. But okay,
shoes, yeah, jewelry.
no, I think you're a little bit more, more
nice piece of
expensive.
jewelry is can be cheaper and it can be more expensive.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no value on price. But everybody's welcome, and that creates a difference. And that's the same story as the doorman. He needs to welcome each and every individual guest and create that sense of, wow, I feel welcome.
Yeah, that's super important. Is there also, because we are on the innovation stage, is there something also that innovation can help you in offering this personalization? Julia, do you have an answer on this? How can innovation help us with this?
I think innovation is a key driver, and I would like to tap upon what was just shared, because we're talking about personalization, right? Have we ever split the word personalization? So there is the person in there, right? So you were mentioning a lot the human factor, and we need the human factor in innovation. So the creativity behind. The talk before was talking about artificial intelligence. So something that misses sometimes the soul of the human being. And I think innovation can only be successful if it's thought from a person perspective, a client perspective, a human perspective. Because otherwise, the
It's a trick.
authenticity, exactly, it's
Yeah.
a trick.
Yeah.
It's not holistic, it's not sustainable, if we want to talk like that.
Yeah.
And all the memories you were sharing before as well, they require the human being.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But we need to innovate. So we
Absolutely.
have tools. We have the lady over there that was with, right, Revenate, I believe. They create systems so that we know what you like, basically.
Exactly.
And that's great. But then it's how do you deliver that? And so you need to really step away from process, the head, and go into the heart. And
Correct.
when you transpire that heart, that love for your client, I believe that's when you make the difference.
Yeah.
Because when I talk from my heart, I go straight into your heart.
Correct.
And that you will never forget.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only answer, I think.
Maybe
Yes.
that's the biggest innovation we can have,
I
right?
think
Yes.
this is the biggest innovation. It's so necessary. In the meantime, I'm curious if there are any questions from the audience that can be answered by one of you guys. Is there a question for Benno or Robert Jan or for Julia? Not yet? Okay.
Normally I say we are not so clear that we don't get any questions.
No, but then I go further with my questions.
Yeah.
Because talking about this kind of innovation, I'm very aligned that your heart is the most beautiful innovation. But what do you see in the different kind of luxury industry? How can brands really innovate in offering this personalization?
So I'm going a little bit back.
Yeah, please do.
So 2019, we did a study.
Yeah.
And we were facing challenges in the luxury industry that were actually anti-luxury.
Yeah.
So there was a time, over 10 years ago, and the watches and the jewelry brands, they were very reluctant in engaging in digital means, communication or distribution or processes. Things have changed. But that time, sustainability came up.
Yeah.
Now it's not a question anymore, it's a given. We need to do it, we need to act responsibly, and we need to be transparent.
Yeah.
And sometimes the luxury dream was all about being intransparent.
Yeah, true.
Because it's a dream. And so all of these movements, inclusivity, diversity, minimalism, casualization, you mentioned the sneakers before, all of that together with well-being approach, sometimes, or radically turned around what had been defined as luxury before.
True.
So if we look into those developments rather than trends, because trends, they pop up and they vanish.
Yeah.
So developments are shaping, are being part of an innovative driver. So if we look into those different developments and we see how luxury had been impacted, we see that, of course, we need processes that are digitalized to allow for personalization, to allow for transparency. Maybe we engage in blockchain technology to trace back where a diamond is coming from, to trace back where, I mean, food locally sourced would be
We
even
do
better.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
So they can be an enabler, a facilitator of innovation, of moving the industry forward. But I think we need to really rethink the concept of luxury, getting it out of a very autocratic, very top-down perspective and being more human.
Yeah.
So being able to co-create. Yes, there is a creative mastermind, and there should be a creative mastermind. Allowing, however, ways to personalize and engage from a client perspective is a must. And you mentioned community before. I strongly believe that we need to create communities. We need to have kind of a transformation. We saw before the pottery.
Yeah.
So transformation in terms of education, learning, and sharing experiences and evolving in a certain state of mind. So moving luxury also out of this very, opulent corner.
I think it's a beautiful approach.
Subtle one.
And I suddenly also have to think about all the persons behind the brands. If you know that this man is making your watch and you give this man a name, or if Bas, the chef from Marie, says, right, Marie, is going to your table and explains a little bit more. And I notice it myself also because I'm also traveling a lot in the luxury industry. If I really see that the Cartier family in Paris is recognizing me and reminds what I told them the last time, this is luxury. So I think, of course, we are at the innovation stage, but I think innovation is being more human than we ever have been and really attract the right people who are believing this is a craft.
Yeah.
And maybe, Benno, building a family. Because you notice when you have a family company, you notice that people like to see your family at parties in the boutiques. I think if we can all build a family with our company and we make the craftsman visible. I was visiting the Valentino show and Pier Paolo Piccolo, the creative designer, he is really bringing all the craftspeople on stage. And people really start to cry when they see this because we love to recognize the people behind. So do you already give the craftsman a name when he's creating a jewelry or a watch?
Absolutely. And this is, by example, the jewelry was designed by our daughter. It's called Choices by DL, Deborah Leeser. And that's very important to have a face behind.
Yeah. I think this is also because we are diving in the deep of the minds of our clients. If we're talking about personalization, what kind of music he likes, what kind of car, what kind of envelope. But it's also beautiful to make our people visible. And then you can talk from heart to heart. I think this is the innovation of the luxury industry, if you're talking about personalization.
Absolutely.
It's all about people.
Yeah,
right?
it's
And
really
so
all about
as
people.
much as you can personalize the people that you have in your teams, the better it is. You mentioned Bas.
Yeah.
He is the pinnacle of personalization with everything he's done in Flora. It's just amazing. I mean, being awarded 2 stars and a green star in one shot is quite unique. So this guy is also, again, driving that personalization, innovating through new product, innovating through new service levels. And that is what, that's why I'm so proud to be in the Pearl of Amsterdam.
Yeah, I can imagine. What I also noticed, Julia, also within my own community, and you are telling it already a little bit, in the past, when you are a luxury traveler, you want to have it all. But what I now see is that we don't want to have it all. We like to be back to basic.
Yeah.
Is this also something that we can involve in our brands if we are building a brand in the hospitality industry? How can we go back to basic?
Very interesting question. I think we could talk about many more minutes or hours about the topic, because going back to basic is also transformation.
Yeah.
So you start exactly by, you want to experience it all, but we are somewhat saturated by the overload that we sometimes receive in our daily lives. So traveling is also kind of an escapism, right? It gets you out of our daily lives, out of our bubble, out of, or into our comfort zone. So going back to basics is also reconnecting with nature.
Yeah.
Feeling the materials, knowing how authentic they are. So how do I feel about that? So listening more to the heart, and I mean, the mind can always trick us in a certain way, but how do we feel if we enter rooms? Are they giving us a good feeling? Which colors have been chosen, which materials? And therefore, the more we actually go back to basics, to reconnect with the basic pleasures by feeling, by also the pottery, I think was a brilliant example.
Yeah, it was a beautiful example, yeah.
That is something that, yes, we can have all of the digitalization processes that facilitate certain ways, but also when it comes to interior design, I think basic is sometimes the most luxurious thing you can have. It does not need to be overly loaded with many, many different fabrics or patterns and designs, because sometimes the most purest form is the highest form of craftsmanship as well.
And I think also you can then start with storytelling, because we also learned from the previous talk that storytelling is such a beautiful reason to travel to a boutique like GASSAN or to the Hotel de l'Europe.
And there is, I don't know, Aesop.
Yeah.
I think we all know Aesop the brand. So anyone has never visited an Aesop store before. Aesop is an Australian-based cosmetic brand focusing on beautiful soaps and hand cream. Beautiful smell.
Oh, Robert Jan never did.
On the agenda.
All right. And what am I going to experience there?
So, interestingly, they have over 300 stores. And let alone the duty-free, but none of those 300 stores look the same. Why? Because they're going to focus on the community, on the local spirit. They go and scout for locations that are very traditional and authentic for the city.
True.
The materials chosen, they work together with local architects, local designers. So you always, as a constant, have the shelf with the products and the washing machine, because you can test the products, you can really experience them. But by this, the storytelling element comes to life, because you want to go there. You want to know how something looks like in Berlin. You want to go to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Because you learn about the environment while you go there, and it's not just about the product or the brand, it's about something bigger and higher than the brand itself.
You can, when you are in Amsterdam and you're staying in one of the hotels, you can experience this experience in the Utrechtse Straat. It has also, and it's working together with a local artist from the south of the Netherlands.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful experience.
I will go there.
Yeah, please go. Let's finalize the talk about having a look in the future. Benno, what do you think is the future about if you talk about personalization in the jewelry and watches industry?
No, it's getting more and more important that it has their own face.
Yeah.
And that's what we are doing by ourselves with our own products. And you even see it also with all the brands. It's getting more and more personalized. And this is what we see a prosperous future for us all.
Thank you so much. 5th generation already. I really like this story. And for you in the hotel industry?
Yeah, it's similar. But so we started with the butler service for our suites, and the butlers create a unique experience in your suite throughout your stay. But also, they give you the right advice: where to go, where to eat, what to do. That sort of personalized experience. I think that's something we need to induce in all room types and for every guest, because they deserve it. I do believe that we have the right rate, so we can pay for it, because it costs money. It has to be economic.
Yeah.
But it does really change the experience. So that it's the ultimate pinnacle of personalization for me.
I can imagine, because then you're also building kind of a family within your hotel. But do you have to fill in a form, or is there a conversation about your needs?
For me, it's all about the talk.
Yeah.
But in today's time, we send you a mail.
Yeah.
And ask for some information before you arrive.
And when you arrive, there is a conversation?
100%, because he's your butler, right?
Yeah.
So he's there actually in the lobby when you arrive. And from that moment, he or she will take you along.
Oh, wow.
And facilitate your stay.
Okay, so there's a reception, there's a concierge, and there's a butler.
And there's the butler.
Okay, that's a cool innovation.
But by example, to give you an idea, with Trophy by GASSAN, there's always a movie with it. What a nice experience, what it was very important for the person who get the present, but there's a complete movie with, and you see really the tears in the eyes when they see this kind of movie. But that's all about personalization.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that example. And for you, Julia, where's the future about if you talk about personalization in the luxury industry in a wider approach?
Mm-hmm. So there can be so much digitalization around us, and I think to sum it up and also to strengthen what we discussed before, refining the human element and being more approachable as a brand. because the conversations I have with quite a lot of established luxury brands is all about how can we be more approachable. So going away from the ivory tower, reconnecting with the clients on a more, personal level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun starts shining when you're sharing this. No, I really think it's about, and for me, I think it's also about giving back to the community.
Yeah.
For example, I learned from the fashion industry when Maria Grazia Curie, the creative director of Dior, is hosting a show in Mexico. She definitely will include local artists to create fashion and also to create the decors from the show. So really giving back. And it sounds sometimes like greenwashing, I'm aware of this, but when I talk with these craftspeople, they really feel celebrated. So I really feel that you can use it in your storytelling very wisely to increase your business, but at the same time, you're really giving something back to these local people.
Yeah.
And I think hospitality is, to make a conclusion for you all, a people's business. And I truly hope that you feel it in your heart, like what Benno was saying. And I thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, you can find us after this talk. And otherwise, you can find us via social media. And we hope to be back next year. And good luck with your beautiful brands and your beautiful organizations. And thank you for sharing the love for hospitality. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Benno, Julia,
Thank you so much,
and Robert
Miluska.
Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Heel mooi, hè?
Welcome to the official opening of the Independent Hotel Show 2024, as we proudly present two globe-trotting hotel enthusiasts on a quest for the hottest trends in hospitality. From the vibrant streets of Munich to the chic vibes of London and the sun-soaked shores of Barcelona to the charming corners of Utrecht. Buckle up for a worldwide adventure in the realm of hotels. Allow me to request a warm round of applause for our European Business Development Director at Montgomery, Mika Burkers, and hospitality trend forecaster and journalist, Vincent van Dijk.
Running a hotel, you need one thing above all else: guests. And if you want to offer your guests the best service at the best prices while remaining as profitable as possible, then you need optimized revenue management.
Market conditions are getting tougher by the day. Constant competition forces you into many dependencies: employee turnover, increasing cost pressure, and adapting to a rapidly changing world.
If you want to sell your hotel rooms at the best possible prices in the future, you need new approaches to your revenue management.
This is the moment we would like to introduce you to our TET synergy. Sounds scientific, I know, but it really isn't. What we mean is the combination of our highly qualified teams, decades of experience, and modern technologies which we put to work for you every single day.
We ensure that you can increase your sales in any market situation, reduce your costs, and thus secure your success in the long term.
An individually tailored growth strategy for your hotel enables you to maintain full control in any given market situation and sustainably optimize your performance.
TET Synergy gives you the assets you need to prepare your hotel for future challenges. Optimization, success, and security are the top priorities at Hotel Partner. The team is the foundation on which your success is built.
Ich habe das Gefühl, jeden Tag Neues zu lernen und weiß es zu schätzen, dass ich meine Vorschläge und Ideen in so vielen Bereichen einbringen kann.
Der Ansatz von Hotelpartner, Hotels aktiv zu unterstützen, statt nur Technologie bereitzustellen, hat mich sofort abgeholt.
Durch die teils jahrelange Zusammenarbeit mit den Partnerhotels entsteht eine Verbundenheit und man gibt alles, um die Ziele zu erreichen.
Und trotz der verschiedenen Standorte bilden wir insgesamt ein einheitliches Team, was eng in allen Bereichen zusammenarbeitet.
Seit bereits 17 Jahren begleiten wir Hotels durch die verschiedensten Marktsituationen, optimieren ihren Logierumsatz, senken die Kosten, erhöhen dadurch den Gewinn und sichern damit die Zukunft und das Wachstum ab. Wenn Sie wissen möchten, wie das für Ihr Hotel funktionieren kann, dann lassen Sie uns miteinander sprechen.
Hotel Partner, your revenue management partner for optimization, success, security.
Welcome to the official opening of the Independent Hotel Show 2024. as we proudly present two globe-trotting hotel enthusiasts on a quest for the hottest trends in hospitality. From the vibrant streets of Munich to the chic vibes of London and the sun-soaked shores of Barcelona to the charming corners of Utrecht. Buckle up for a worldwide adventure in the realm of hotels. Allow me to request a warm round of